In today's video, we're looking at the Kiloview D350 4K NDI decoder. I want to thank Kiloview for sending this to me for my review. This device can decode video in H.264 and H.265 formats with support for multi-channel video decoding as well. It has support for SRT and NDI along with NDI HX3 and all of the other protocols you see here on the screen. It does have the ability to output SDI and HDMI at the same time. It also has an LCD screen for real-time status monitoring as well. Now, this decoder can also have unlimited sources with up to previewing 16 of those sources at a time and also outputting up to 9 of those sources if you like. So what we're going to do is take a closer look at the device and then we'll jump into the UI for the first time and take a look around. Inside the box, you get the D350 decoder along with a power supply. In addition, Kiloview gives you a thank you for your purchase card, and on the back of that card, it has information for contacting support. You also get a warranty card, and you get a quick start guide. But we're not done yet. In addition to all that, you do get a catalog containing all of Kiloview's other products. So now that we've covered what's inside the box, let's go ahead and take a closer look at the D350 itself. So here you can see on the top of the unit, it's got the Kiloview branding right here, LCD screen for real-time monitoring and the navigation buttons, and again the model number, the D350. You can see the device is pretty well made. It's not all that large. It fits in the palm of my hand as you see here. It's got venting on both sides. The bottom is solid, but it's made out of a nice rugged material. I'm not sure if it's plastic or metal or a combination of both, but again, it feels very well made and solid. So on this side here, you have two 1 gig Ethernet ports, and what I really like about this is in addition to being able to power the device with the supplied 12-volt adapter, the first gigabit Ethernet port is also PoE port, so you can supply PoE power to power up this device from your switch. In addition to the two 1 gigabit ports, you have a USB-C and a USB-A port, and then you have your status lights here. On the other side of the device, you have your 3G SDI out, a line out, and then two HDMI outs. Now, the two HDMI outs could support up to 4K 60. So next, what I'd like to do is power up the device for you. So let's plug in PoE using an Ethernet cable from my network switch. You should see this light up, and in a second you should see the display light up as well. There we go. So it says IP address unknown for network port 1 and network port 2. So in a second the DHCP server should issue an IP address, and there we have it, 192.168.25.176. Now this will vary based on the DHCP services on your network, and you can see if we toggle through, the next one shows you the traffic on network port 1, network port 2. Then it shows you HDMI output 1 is set to 1080p. And then output 2 is set to 1080p SDI. And then it takes us back to the IP address. So I just wanted to show you the real-time monitoring in the screen. It's really cool that it comes right up with the IP address so you don't have to go figuring out what it is to access the UI. That said, let's jump into the web user interface. Okay, so I have my browser pointed to the IP address of the device. Let's go ahead and log in. Initially, the username and password is admin. And you get prompted right away to change your password. So it says change your initial pass first time you log in. So we'll say okay. And now you're at the screen to change your password. It says 6 to 32 characters with a number, upper and lowercase letter. So let's go ahead and give it a password. And then it says modified successfully, and now it's asking us to log in again. Okay, so we're successfully logged in. So the first thing you see here is a tip. It says in image mode, you will only see regular video frames with image preview, which is the way to save your CPU, GPU overhead. So I'm just going to say, don't prompt me next time, and close this. And what they're talking about is right here. You could toggle between just seeing image mode and video mode. So we're just going to leave it set to video. Now, looking at the screen from left to right, this is your source preview. This is your output window. You have output 1 and output 2. You also have the ability to turn on and off each output, so you can turn on HDMI 1, HDMI 2, or SDI for each of the outputs. Down at the bottom, here's where you would see your sources if we had any. We're not going to talk about that in this video. What we'll do in the next video is bring in a couple of sources, and I'll show you how to decode them in the next video. But for now, I just want to take a look at the basic UI. So across the top, this is the media tab that we're currently in. Then here's your network tab with all the network information for network address 1 and network address 2. Here's an images management section. You could also connect to an NDI discovery server as well as the Kiloview server if needed. Over on the right side, you have your system startup. Under here, you have user management, system time, reset, reboot, restore. You could upgrade your firmware, and it says equipment maintenance. So let's go to system time and at least get our time set. So currently we are set to Asia, Shanghai. So we're going to come over to the United States, and we're going to click on this area here which says America, New York, and we're going to change and set the time. Okay, so now that we have the time set, the next thing across the top here is our admin view. It gives us the option to change password or log out, and then here's an information tab about the device. Again, all your sources would be listed down here. If you wanted to add an NDI source, you would click on Discover. And if there were any NDI sources on the network, they would be available here. And again, we'll show you this in the next video. If you wanted to add something like an SRT source, we'd click on the Add button. Then we can come across here and select SRT, create the connection and say OK. And then again, if there was someone streaming SRT, it would show up down here in the sources. So we're going to get into all that in the next video, and we'll show you how to decode those sources as well. So there's a first look at the Kiloview D350 4K NDI decoder. I like what I'm seeing so far, and I'm excited to keep testing this device. In the next video, stay tuned. We're going to get a couple of sources created, and I'll also show you how to get those sources decoded. For more content, please click here. Thank you so much for watching.